Hi guys, this is Gaz from Timepunk, and I'm just having a look at Blockade Labs Skybox generator. This thing is absolutely amazing. So we all know about how you can tell AI what to look like, but this can generate skyboxes and HDRIs for you, which is unbelievable. If you're using something like HDRP, you can use these as a full skybox that will influence the entire scene, all the lighting and everything, and that's exactly what I was looking for when I found this. So let's have a little, I don't know, an example. Let's say a street built from computer parts and circuit boards in Tokyo in 2099. And you can pick a style: realistic, radiant realism. I haven't messed with all these. I've done a few already, but let's go for realism. And there is a couple of bugs, I don't know why, in this thing. I've already hacked the code. It overwrites your old one. If you keep remixing with the same name, it overwrites it. So I just hacked in the Unix time there to the folder path. I tried to add the style too, because if you generate the same image in different styles, it'd be good, but I don't know, the path went weird. It's generating now anyway, and it doesn't write the HDRP volume profile.asset. You can see it failed at the bottom. It will fail in a second, but I don't think you need that. That's literally, yeah, so it failed. Is that because of my hack? I don't think so. It was having problems anyway, but you don't need that, because that is just this profile that you see here. And as you can see, sometimes there's a bug in these things and the profile doesn't even do much, but I can turn it on and off. So this is the image it's made. I mean, it looks amazing, actually. I expected the walls to be a bit more circuit boardy. So let's say just from circuit boards. And we'll try a different style. I think you can just click remix here. So I'll pick a different style, right? Futuristic, cyberpunk. That sounds good. And I was literally looking at packs, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I can spend like £50 on if I can get, 25 amazing skyboxes. This is for a project I'm doing, and my visuals project, Ferox Live. And then I came across this, and I'm paying $20 a month to be able to generate. I think I can generate 100. I'll probably not need it after that. So after 1 month, I'll probably just cancel it. But it's a great service. If I don't know who on earth needs to generate 100 skyboxes a month, but when you need it, it's good. Okay. Classic. Whenever I hit record, things just stop stop being as good. But I only used it a few times. I thought it was, like absolutely mind blowing when I first tried it. But yeah, not much circuit boards there. Let's try something else. Let's say a sausage factory run by pigeons in Catalonia in the year 3000. I mean, these skyboxes are great, actually. I will probably use this. It's amazing, considering I didn't have to pay for it and the amount of work that would go into it. I'm just wondering how advanced it actually is now, because them last two results weren't so good, but it's an amazing product, put it that way. Right, interiors, remix this. They should make it so it doesn't overwrite the old one, and the volume saves, and it's all maybe a directory for different styles, and then the name of what you put in. It's just dumping them in the SDK folder right now. And the only reason they're not overwriting is because of that hack I did. You can see my attempt to hack in the style there too. But they are very, very simple, small issues. Take them 10 minutes to... I don't know why that keeps coming back. Take them 10 minutes to fix that. It just takes the professional edge off. Right. Huh. The sausage factory run by pigeons, apparently. That is incredible, though, isn't it? I don't think it's quite on the Mid-Journey level, because there would be pigeons. And there would be sausages, too. I don't know what they are. Anyway, that's an HDR or a material you can use as a Skybox. It is amazing. If I say Sky Dome, will that still generate a factory? Yeah. Oops. I'll pause this video. That was my friend. We're just arranging to have a drink after this. Right, so the Sky Dome didn't really do anything different, did it? Alright, let's try something else. Let's try a tree in the middle of a field. In England. Now we'll try stylized CGI realism. You can turn on these spheres too. Maybe you can't do it while it's generating. But I think you need to render the reflection probe, and maybe it wasn't rendering. No, it should be in real time. So I'm just going to kill that window for now. Just to show you what you get generated, right? So this is what we actually get. You get a text file. I haven't actually looked at that. That's just some JSON that describes what you said and the style. So that's good. You can get it back with that, basically. Then you get a depth texture. That's the 3D depth. That's good. I didn't know that. And then you get the normal texture. Huh. It's not just in the middle of a field, though, is it? It's actually not really listening much, I don't think. And then you get the should get the HDRI. Where is it? There it is. It ends in. Why could I not see that? That's just a material, is it? I thought there was something special. Yeah, it's just a PNG that's imported as a cube map. So that's it, what it generated. And I asked it what? For a tree in the middle of a field. Oh, it's because I'm remixing, aren't I? Sorry about that. But that's good then. It shows you that it can do it and remix what you had, right? I want to create a new one now. Surreal. Psychedelic illustration. I mean, this is amazing, isn't it? It would take me my entire lifetime to get the skills to be able to render that myself. I can't do any good 3D rendering. I can code, I can utilize assets. So this is absolutely ideal, given that I desperately need some good HDRIs for my visuals thing, because they're basically stolen from the web at the moment, and they're not even, they don't even wrap, they're like cubes, they look terrible, but I used them because I wanted specific styles, and there was no AI generators back then when I did it. That is nice. I like that. I guess I didn't specify that there should be no other trees, right? So I've never tried this, but it says describe what to avoid. Do not add more than one tree. And we'll try, these are all being saved by the way, so if I like any I'll use them. We'll try, ooh, what was that one that flashed up? Or was that the surreal one? These look amazing. That's the one we tried, right? I'm going to try that one. Data Mosh. And I'm not sure what enhanced prompt does. I'm going to try that next, and I'll show you the spheres. So yeah, I'm not sure you can actually use this for free, even though you can get it on the asset store for free. When you try and get your API key, it just keeps sending you to the membership screen. But I thought it's worth paying for in a moment when you're desperate for skyboxes. Ordinarily, I probably wouldn't be able to justify it. That's nice. I mean, that's good. See, what I'm after is things that can reflect the image of cars and things and windows. And you can see it's used the avoid text. There's only one tree. Or is that a tree? Or is that a cave? I don't know. But it's brilliant. So what do we want now? Let's say a street full of cats in Norway. In 1990. Here's the spheres, by the way. The reason I didn't show them is because they're black like that. It's like there's a light missing. What happens if we just make a light? And not that bright, obviously. Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Something weird. The reflection probe is set to real time, but it just seems so dark, doesn't it? Okay. Well. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Generate. See, it does this as well. It seems to get things that people have searched for or other words that I think might help. Even VR, 360, these details are added by it, and I think that makes it a bit more generic because I didn't say anything about abstract cat silhouettes or rustic wooden homes, but oh, that must be enhanced prompt, is it? Must be. I haven't got it ticked. Or maybe it just thinks it needs that. So yeah, I mean that is not at all what I was expecting actually, but maybe that is what it's like in Norway. It's nice. I want to move to Norway now. Data Mosh looks a bit weird with that one, so let's go with realism. And it's annoying now that I have to delete that actually. There should be a list of previous prompts. I don't think there is. Mesh Creator? What's that? Oh my god, you can make meshes? Oh! You can export that as a... No way. No way. Let's try it. It did export a prefab here, look. This could be the stuff of dreams. I'm going to drag it in. There's nothing there. Well, that didn't work. It made a small tetrahedron mesh, which I do have an FBX viewer, I think. That's an asset. No, it didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I thought it was going to export the whole 3D world somehow as a model. I mean, that was expecting too much, wasn't it? But that's what it leads you to believe. I'll try it again. Save. Oh no. Let's try low quality. Save prefab. Generates. Oh wait. Oh no, it's just a sphere, isn't it? It just generates the sphere with that applied. Yeah, no, I don't know what I thought there. I thought somehow it would give me those buildings in a little world. Now that would have been impressive. Right. Well, did we try realism? No, I haven't tried it yet. See what it looks like when it's realistic. So far, I think this technology is good. It's not as good as Midjourney or something, but it is giving me exactly what I want. I feel like the AI has to come on a little bit further, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't have said this a year ago. This would have made me absolutely crap myself. But it's very impressive. Wow. See, you'd have to go buy that. You could pay $10 for that. It's very impressive. It's ultra realistic. Well, it doesn't look realistic, does it? But the trees look quite good. It's close to being realistic. I want to see how far the realism can go. Let's say a man playing on an Amiga computer in the 1980s. Shout out to all the Amiga fans. See, it's done it again, look. 80s vibe, Commodore Amiga computer, carpet. I guess that's what they all do underneath. You just don't see it very often. VR 360 panorama, that's what makes it an HDRI, which is great. And they would work beautifully in VR. So that is not what I asked for, is it? It's a room in 80s vibe, but I don't see anyone playing on an Amiga. And it's perfectly usable. So maybe you have to be less simple with it, right? Maybe we've been spoiled. What if I just say Amiga computer? I mean, it'll have to generate an environment, won't it? It won't just be an Amiga on a black background. Although that would be sweet. Come on. It's the sort of thing you don't mind waiting for because it's exciting. And it's giving you so much work for free, this. Well, it's not like any Amiga I had. What? Alright. No. Maybe it thinks that's a car? Oh, it's another car. The reflection looks a bit like some old game. Alright, let's see. Futuristic. Netrunner. and we'll say a handheld Amiga computer from 2099 running the latest latest operating system. And I think at this point, the people who invented this, if they had watched this, they'd be like, oh, he thinks it's better than it is, because it's starting to show that it isn't really what I hoped it was. But it's you know, it's only $20 a month and it does all the hard work. But it's not as advanced as what we're seeing in the news right now. You know, I mean, somebody showed me Sora, OpenAI Sora earlier. If you check that video, it's videos about that it's generated that look like real life. It's one of their demos. It's incredible. You know, I mean, look at this. I argue that it might be, you know, in a completely different generation to this, because this is struggling to do the most basic things. While it is impressive and I love it, it's not what I thought it was, is it? It's generating environments, right? It's not generating pictures of things. It has to be a skybox. So with that in mind, let's try another one. Let's try a radiant painting. Let's say the quayside in Newcastle upon Tyne in 1900 with some fishing boats. Now, if it doesn't, if it just generates something that is completely irrelevant again, then we'll know something's not right. I think we've been spoiled by ChatGPT in the last year. It will even be changing the way people search Google, I bet you. And Google will have to update all their algorithms to deal with people thinking it's ChatGPT. Right. Could that be Newcastle in 1900? Well, it looks nice. There's the fishing boats. Ooh, I like that. There's the bridges. Newcastle's famous for its bridges, so it seems to know that. I mean, it looks a bit more like Amsterdam or something, but and the bridges look very futuristic. Is that the Tyne Bridge? It's meant to be the Tyne Bridge, but it's not quite, I think. It's very similar. So in fact, I'd say that is quite impressive. It's a romantic version, but it does say it's a radiant painting. Let's remix that one, right? And we'll say anime or manga. Same thing, isn't it? I like manga. Let's say manga. Yeah, I mean, the results are very impressive. If that is generated by AI in the way we think, that looks great. I'm not sure I'll use all the different styles. It'll be depending on the project, I guess. Realism might be the way to go. I'm looking for kind of exciting synthwave type things, so some of the cyberpunk options will be very valuable for reflections and stuff. Wow. So it's basically the same, but it looks hand-drawn, and that looks quite amazing. Look at the character at the bottom. I still haven't worked out how generic it is, because that is very impressive. I mean, is that little guy who we just saw, is he in all of them? Is that generic? Well, we'll change the place and we'll find out, right? Let's say the quayside in London. Is there a quayside in London? No, I guess there's a quayside everywhere, right? And we'll keep the style and everything. If that little bloke appears, then we'll know it's a bit generic. If this looks different, somehow inspired by London, less bridges, for example, different boats, different people, then I guess it'll be quite impressive. I mean, I already think that's amazing. I couldn't draw that if you gave me 50 years. Also, if you're still watching, don't forget I have a Switch game out already on America and Europe. Check it out. It's called Tenement. Tenement. It's only $10. Sort of doing videos to promote that. Right, London. Well, this definitely looks a bit more city-esque and curvy buildings and same kind of bridge. London does have bridges, though, I've heard. Different people. I like it, but let's go for realistic. This is ultra realism, yeah? Oh, what's that? Infrared. Ooh. I like that nebula one as well. That looked good. Yeah, I think these are inspired by real London buildings. I think I've seen that. And is that looks like one of the famous ones, is it? Maybe. Shame about Mesh Creator. Imagine it somehow give you a mesh. I mean, that will be coming. The £50,000 I've wasted on assets will be silly because I'll be able to just generate them with a LiDAR camera or a prompt. Right. This is the same but ultra realistic. Well, it doesn't look realistic. It's clearly rendered. It's very impressive. I mean, this is PS5 level rendering, is it? Never actually played a PS5. It's good. It's very nice. There is boats, but no water. Maybe there was no water in 1900 there. Right, that's impressive. Let's see something else. A graveyard in Pittsburgh with some zombies. Realism. I asked it earlier for a street made entirely of Dawn of the Dead memorabilia, and that was when it rang a little bit in my head that it wasn't very good because it produced a sort of low quality looking mall with a couple of shoddy zombies. There was no memorabilia, and there was some sort of silly zombie faces on the wall that looked like they'd been drawn for something like for a kid's PS2 game or something. So alarm bells started ringing in a way. I realised it wasn't quite as smart as it should be. So I'm sort of asking it this, I don't know, as a related question. And we'll see. Right, I did a remix again, like an idiot. That looks cool though. It looks like some sort of like, Quake 5 level or something. I like that. Although I do not see a zombie, so you can't specify a zombie. Let's say a mall in Pittsburgh with some zombies. And we'll create a new one, right? I keep remixing by accident. I mean, that is awesome. I love it. Anyway, you get all this for 20 bucks. It's pretty insane. Even if you used all your 100 credits just to get one killer Skybox that you would have probably, if you had to commission it, you'd have had to pay someone £100 or 150 quid. If you made it yourself, it might take you a whole week. Alright, here we go. See, it's a generic mall. Doesn't look like Pittsburgh, it looks more like Thailand or something. That is cool, although there is no zombies. I like it in a way. It's just weird. It's not quite a mall, but it's quite futuristic. What can we look for? A field of bananas. Come on. If you can't get a field of bananas right, we know it's too generic. It's not unusable. It's very, very, very good. It's just not Mid-Journey or Sora. And things are going to change. You're going to be able to generate entire games just by speaking soon. And it's going to put a lot of people out of business, I think. Right. Well, that's quite good. I actually expected bananas just lying on the grass for some reason, but that's probably what a banana field looks like in reality. That's beautiful, isn't it? That is very realistic, so it is better than... It's not just generic. Let's see if I say a field full of... I was going to put cannibals there, but it probably just won't work. The trees look half real, half weirdly rendered. But on the whole, you know, this stuff is very impressive, isn't it? I'll probably be generating more sort of stylized cyberpunk synthwave type things with, you know, pink grids in the sky and lightning and that. Mostly. But considering how hard it is to actually find good skyboxes and how much you pay, that's a field full of cannibals, is it? Well, I don't know what that means. A field full of tanks, yeah? Come on, it takes longer to generate so many tanks. Probably does actually. Alright, well that's pretty impressive. Very impressive actually, isn't it? And there's even some warfare going on. That'll have been that enhanced prompt thing, I bet you. Yeah, that is cool. Alright, could we? I don't know. A 2D, what's the word again? Cross slice or something. I can't believe I've forgotten the word. Cross section drawing of the Kowloon walled city. Is that how you spell Kowloon, or has it got a H in it? Just check over here. No, that's how you spell it. And it said VR360 towering layers, stacked dwellings, labyrinth corridors, Kowloon Walled City, architecture cross-section, unique 2D art form style, urban density in VR360, extreme detail, chiaroscuro shading effects, haunting beauty, the chaotic metropolis, immersive verticality. None of which I said. So either that's how AI does it underneath. I guess it does. It must do to some degree, or that's just how this one deals with it. Yeah, no, that's how they all work, isn't it? We just don't get the feedback. It predicts Kowloon Walled City. What does that usually mean? Oh, it's a labyrinth of stacked dwellings. It's a chaotic metropolis. It's immersive verticality. Can't wait to see what it makes. That is not a drawing. It looks nothing like the Kowloon Walled City. Well, it does a bit. Very impressive, actually, still. But it's not at all what I expected. It just ignored the fact that I wanted a 2D art style or cross-section. A map of England drawn by MC Escher. That's asking far too much, isn't it? It's hard to know what level they're at these days in each one, isn't it? Some of them are like, well, it could never understand that. There's no way. Other ones you're like, why doesn't it understand that? 2 years ago, you'd have been impressed if you could just Google and find a map on Google Images in the style of MC Escher. And if you found it, even if it was like 50 quid, if you really needed it, you'd buy it. I just did. I bought stuff for my last Switch game that I really wanted. And it wasn't cheap. I didn't use AI, but the sequel, the next one, I probably will. That's a map of England. Yeah, you see what I'm forgetting is it's not objects it's producing, it's scenery. It's worlds that wrap around you. So I'm being silly when I ask for that. It doesn't... That's impressive, but it's not quite what I asked for, is it? Oh no, it does look a bit like a hand-drawn map, actually. That's cool. Alright. A spaceship. A red spaceship. If I type the size of a city. Passing by Saturn. See, I think that's where it won't understand by passing by. If it just goes, oh, the rings of Saturn, large red spaceship, Hitchhiker's Guide, Red Dwarf, something like that. That's where the nuances are going to be lost. Now, if you know anything about AI, then obviously you'll know I'm pretty clueless about what's going on underneath. Although I have done a couple of machine learning videos and things like that. And after this I'll do one more and then I'll be going to the Red Room for a drink down the street, around the corner. Right, a red spaceship the size of a city passing by Saturn. That could be Saturn. Yeah, is that a ring? Something? There's some large spaceships. Again, I haven't really asked for a location, have I? Could be where the failings are, right? Okay. The outside cafe in Paris in 1000 AD. Is that too much? Now that's impressive. If I wanted a space game one, I'd be using that straight away. It looks like it's been rendered by a professional. I'll be looking this technology up on YouTube anyway to see if anyone else has made videos, and I just thought I would, because it's fun and it's new and people might be interested in what I can do without having to subscribe. Maybe the authors are watching it and they can get some feedback about some of the issues. Outside a cafe in Paris in 1000 AD. Well, it's not 1000 AD, is it? But it is a cool little alleyway in Paris. It looks like it. Alright. Amsterdam Red Light District. That's it. And we'll go to futuristic cyberpunk. It's even made fake brands like Vitol and Cultior. I think I might have seen them already being repeated, I'm not sure. It is impressive. Everything feels very closed in though. You know, when I expected a cafe in Amsterdam, I expected a big open plain, like the middle of Prague or something, but, you know, whatever. Right. This is Cyberpunk. I spelled Amsterdam wrong too, but I got it. A cyberpunk red light district in Amsterdam. That's not it, is it? It should be canals and everything. Amsterdam canals with neon red. And we'll go for art techniques, pen and ink, technical drawing. Oh, right, technical drawing. I love the sound of that. That could be good for that cross-section one I was doing. I'd love to be able to generate cross-sections and 2D maps in this thing, or in any of these things. I keep forgetting this is just for skyboxes. But nearly everything it's generated is 100% usable in my next project. I'm not sure if I'll get bored after I've generated 100, but if I'm still loving it, I will keep doing it. Oh, I spelled Amsterdam wrong again. Camsterdam. Well, it wasn't smart enough to work that out. I like the technical drawing though. Very cool. Right, I want to go for radiant realism. Amsterdam canals with red realism. Do it. And that is a scene. You can imagine the buildings and the water. This is obviously geared towards making you feel like you're inside something. But you should be able to easily generate it when you're outside too, looking at sky and that, though we did see that. And that is very impressive. And this will be my last one. Oh! That's what I wanted. Radiant realism. There's no red neon actually. But that is impressive. Well, it's probably a thing people ask for quite often, but look at the reflections in the water and that. That's my last one for now, but it really did change. Now I'm going to make one more. It really did change my opinion of it right at this last second there. Now I want a surreal one, right? A psychedelic illustration version. And I'm just going to change that because it'll... Oh no, it won't right over. So that's good. That's very good. And that does look photorealistic. You can see some mess-ups, but if you just looked at that, you'd think it was a normal picture. Very impressive indeed. Let's see what the psychedelic illustration looks like. Hoping it's real psychedelic. Now that is impressive. I actually bought a painting in Amsterdam, and I don't know where that ended up, but it looked a lot like that. That's totally manipulated the whole image, and look at the size of the lamps and that. Very cool. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Check out Skybox Generator by Blockade Labs. I think it's good. I think I'd give it 70%. but some of the mind-blowing AIs of today, maybe, more like 90%. Either way, it's worth it, and it's awesome. And also, go buy my Switch game. You can also get it on the PC, on Epic Games. No one's buying it on there. And you can buy it from my website too, www.timepunk.com. Cheers.